What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden. Welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been on fire with these videos recently. I've made about 5 or 6 of them, trying to stack up because it's going to be a very long week and I don't want to make a video every single day because of it. So I'm going to make a video that, let's be honest, we all know is not going to happen anyway. But, you know, free agency, la la land, as I like to call it. I want to talk about someone that recently got fired from their head coaching position, and whether or not it'd be a nice fit with this Chicago Bulls team. I want to talk about Tom Thibodeau. Yes, the Tom Thibodeau that a long time ago actually, coached the Chicago Bulls. Tom Thibodeau that was recently in the Eastern Conference Finals. Tom Thibodeau that I think was wrongfully fired from the New York Knicks after losing in the Eastern Conference Finals. I want to talk about whether or not it would be a nice addition with the Chicago Bulls. Should we bring back the old memories? And should we bring back a head coach that we clearly know is capable, but for whatever reason just doesn't get probably the respect he deserves? Before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below whether or not you believe that Tom Thibodeau should be the Chicago Bulls head coach, ahead of Billy Donovan, of course. And do you think it'd be the right fit? Do you think it would work well? And do you think it's a good idea? Or should we leave the past alone and focus on the future? So, speaking of the past, we can talk about the past. Tom Thibodeau was probably the best coach in recent history. I'm not going to talk about the 90s. And I'm not going to talk about after the 90s into the 2000s, you know, along those range, the early 2000s, whatever. I'm talking about recent history. I'm talking about the 2011 seasons, the 2012 seasons, and all that stuff, right? He brought a lot of success to the Chicago Bulls in terms of playoffs. I mentioned it in a past video on the NBA channel. Tom Thibodeau to the Bulls, ever since we got rid of him, I think we may have had maybe 3 or 4 playoff wins in total. That's what I think. Statistically, you can let me know. But to sum it up, ever since we got rid of Tom Thibodeau, we've had the absolute worst luck in head coaches. We've had the absolute worst luck in playoff performances. And we are barely lucky to make it when we do get into the playoffs. I mean, the playoff win we had recently was DeMar DeRozan dropping 43 points in a playoff game. I mean, that was our latest playoff victory. That was 3 years ago now. So we've not had great luck. I mean, we haven't had great luck with Fred Hoiberg, who, to be fair, didn't get the team he probably needed to actually win games. Jim Boylan, I don't want to talk about Jim Boylan, bro. I heard recently Zach LaVine praised Jim Boylan, or I think it was Zach LaVine. I don't care. I don't want to talk about Jim Boylan. Let's just leave the past in the past. And Billy Donovan. I don't know if there was a different coach in between there, but Billy Donovan. I mean, it's been 4 years now with Billy Donovan, and we've just stuck in the play-in tournament. We've been stuck in the play-in tournament, so not a lot of success, right? Of course, it doesn't come down to just the head coach, but what he brings to the table is a defensive identity, and I don't know how he does it, but he makes teams that you would not normally think are good defensively elite at defense. And the Knicks are the prime example of this. When I think of the Knicks and their 2 best players, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, if you say to any other head coach, those are your 2 best players, make it work defensively, there are a lot of coaches that could not find a way to do it. You know, they'll try their best to hide Karl Anthony Towns and to hide Jalen Brunson, but on a team basis, they're screwed defensively. You know, that's how I think most coaches would view having those 2 best players as your best players. Yeah, they'll give you the effort. I'm sure they will. But they're just not great defenders. For a variety of reasons. It could be height, lateral movement, quickness, pick and rolls. It doesn't matter. You know, it could be not even from their own merit. They're just not the best defenders because of that. But Tom Thibodeau found a way to make the Knicks a formidable defensive foe that would crush you with their defensive intensity each and every single game. And that's how they would win. So if you bring him to the Bulls, you're bringing something that we haven't had in a long time. And that is a coach that can make a team like Josh Giddey and Kobe White, you know, 2 of our best players that are not good defenders. Vucevic is not a good defender. he might be able to find a way to make this team a juggernaut on the defensive end. He might find a way to do it. And you know what? I would absolutely love to have a defensive-minded coach that could probably be a defensive-minded coach with the Chicago Bulls team. And Tom Thibodeau could definitely do that for you. And even if he can't, he'll bring the players in that will be a defensive force for the Bulls. I'm completely certain of that. So that's what you get with Tom Thibodeau. You get winning culture. He's a winner. He's been a winner. Sure, he's not won the championship, but he's been close. He has been in very big playoff contention, and even if he goes to teams that don't make the playoffs, when he gets there, they make the playoffs eventually. So he knows what he's doing. He's an experienced head coach. His formula works for the most part, and he'll get you back to competitiveness, to say the least. That is something that the Bulls need to do, whether you like it or not. So a lot of positives there. Negatives, I mean, we still know the Derrick Rose saga. We know that he still does it. We know that he plays players in games where they shouldn't be playing. He gives them ridiculous amount of minutes, even though the game is already gone. He did it in the playoffs with Karl Anthony Towns recently. You know, he played even OG Anunoby and all of them. He played them for like, 38 minutes when they were up by 30 points and stuff of that nature. And he still played them. He's just a coach that does that. That is his way. And I think in the NBA, especially with how soft the NBA has gotten, that is a form of disaster in my opinion. So, players are going to complain. Everybody's going to make a big fuss about it. Fans are going to make a big fuss about it. We're in the load management era of basketball. We're in the, players need to not play back-to-backs. We need to make the season shorter because 82 games is too much. We need extra days out from the playoffs. And, we need to give these players their rest. It's just too much for them. Look, I get it. And I'm not saying those things are wrong, by the way. But we are in an era where a lot of people are complaining about the NBA season. So playing 38 minutes or playing extended minutes in games where they're already won, it is a disaster. And that is something that I don't miss from Tom Thibodeau's reign with the Chicago Bulls. And, I really think that's it. I honestly think outside of that, he's a very decent head coach. I don't have too much else to say. So to sum it up, I'm going to give my answer though, and this answer might not you might not like this, but should Tom Thibodeau replace Billy Donovan as the head coach for the Chicago Bulls? My answer is no. My answer is no. Didn't see that coming, did ya? I'll tell you why. It's not that I don't think Tom Thibodeau is a better coach than Billy Donovan, and it's not that I don't think Billy Donovan needs to go. I think we need something new. That's what I think we need. So going back to the head coach that we had previously is not new. It's not different. It's not unique. We need a head coach that will come in and bring his own ideas and bring the next style of play. We don't need the previous style of play. We don't need something that we've already seen and happen with this Bulls team. In my opinion, where we are going as a team, I think we need a head coach that could bring his own uniqueness. I'm talking about a Steve Kerr with the Warriors, where he brought his own elements to the game, and he completely changed how the NBA has been played with his ability to coach that team specifically. I'm talking about something like that. Or a Greg Popovich, completely changed how the game was played with his ability to establish winning cultures and the passing that his teams had, the foundation work that he built upon those teams, something that was built upon. We need something like that, to be honest. And, that's very hard to come by. But I think we need to find it. We need to... Eric Spoelstra, another example. Someone that came in from working from the film room to coming into the NBA and establishing his own identity and culture within the Miami Heat team that they didn't have previously. And that's why he's still the head coach of the Heat today. Rick Carlisle even. I can list a lot of coaches, man. A lot of great coaches in the league that come in and establish an identity. There's a whole bunch of them. We need to find our version of that. Tom Thibodeau, for me, would be a very welcome addition, sure. He'd make us better, for sure. But I don't think he's exactly what we need to take the next step. I think he's what we need to fix things that we need fixed right now. But that's about it. And I definitely don't think Billy Donovan's the right man either. I just think we need a different person. We need a different, unique idea. I may not know who that is, but that's what I feel like we need. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. But if in a hypothetical world, because Billy Donovan's job is safe and secure. I mean, his job security is better than mine. His job security is better than 99% of the world right now. Like, I'm being serious. This is incredible. He may as well have an ironclad contract, bro. The guy can't get fired. He can do whatever he wants. He's not getting fired. But anyway, in a hypothetical world, if he did get fired and we did bring back Tom Thibodeau, I'd be very excited. I'd be very happy. But it wouldn't be my very first choice. Still, very well respected. Shouldn't have never got fired from the Knicks. Completely different situation than where we're in at the moment. He should have had another season. It's beyond me why they did that move. We'll see if it works out for them. But I think there are many teams in the league that will take him. And wherever he goes, expect a playoff push to happen for that team. Or if they're competitive, expect them to be even more competitive. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.